I totally forgot you existed.
As I arrived at the airport for the company retreat, my boss, Mr. Brown, told me he had forgotten to reserve just my flight. It's obviously a form of harassment.
If you want to fly, pay for yourself.
A company retreat is supposed to be funded by the company, right? There's no way I'm paying for my own. Well, I'll just go home then, have fun on the trip. While I was relaxing at a nearby spa resort, I got a call from Brown.
Get over here now. They're saying it will cost $50,000 to stay at the hotel without you.
It sounded like he was on speaker, and I could hear the hotel manager.
If he's not here, the accommodation fee is $50,000.
Without me, there are 10 of you, so that sounds about right.
What kind of place did you choose?
It's a place my wife recommended, but they have a pretty hotel-innovative system. My name is David White. I'm a regular guy who will turn 42 this year, working as a salaried employee. After graduating from high school, I studied IT at a technical college and joined my current company. I don't think my skills are much different from others, but I'm not treated on par with those who have a college degree. While those with degrees keep on getting promoted, I'm just an assistant manager forever. I know a position isn't everything, but a businessman's confidence does seem to be tied to his position at work. It wouldn't be true to say that being shy in love and my job title at work are completely unrelated. In my early 20s, I fell deeply in love with a woman and got married, but we got divorced after 2 years due to incompatible personalities. Since we had no children, the divorce was amicable, but it left emotional scars. Perhaps because of that, I was not up for romantic relationships. Time passed, and a high school reunion was scheduled. I was not busy, so I decided to attend. Everyone was a good age, and almost everyone was married. I wasn't expecting anything, so it was fine. After chatting with a few of the guys I was close to, I found myself alone for a bit.
David White, right, you haven't changed a bit.
What's your name again?
I'm Mary Smith, we used to sit next to each other quite a bit.
Oh, right, have you been well? Mary had initiated the conversation, which flowed smoothly from there. We hadn't talked much in high school, and she had a rather plain impression back then. Now, she exuded a glamorous vibe. Not flashy, though, it suited her. As we talked, I learned that Mary was also single.
I was married once, but it didn't work out. We had no kids, so the divorce was quick. After that, despite what my parents said, I figured it was okay, since I was already over 40.
I was thinking the same thing, it feels too late now, I've settled into my lifestyle. We hit it off over these odd commonalities, but soon we realized that we really get on with each other. It also turned out that my boss, Kenny Brown, was Mary's college classmate.
That guy, he's awful, right? In college, he acted as he was special and irritated the hell out of me.
He really is a piece of work, so, he hasn't changed since college. Our unexpected connection brought us closer instantly. Every time we met, I'd talk about Brown or listen to Mary talking about the challenges of her job as a travel writer. Gradually, it felt natural to be together. In the course of her work, we started traveling together occasionally. And I began to seriously consider a future with Mary. Marriage proposal on the rooftop lounge of a luxury hotel overlooking the cityscape at night was a huge success. Thus, Mary and I began a married life, respecting each other's life cycles. Both of us are 42, at the peak of our careers. Our department head, Kenny Brown, who attended the same university as Mary, is also 42. And has already been promoted to department head, leading our age group in advancements. Brown has never experienced failure in his life, manages well with his wife, unlike me who has been divorced. His 2 kids got enrolled in an international school, he sure is doing exceptionally well. However, Brown has a really nasty personality. I never had much desire for promotion. And unlike Brown, who started with a college degree, I began with just a technical school background. Despite this, Brown often picks on me.
White, the report you submitted last time had several errors.
I'm sorry about that, I'll make the corrections right away and submit it.
No need, I've already corrected it thoroughly and submitted it as my own work.
It was a document I had wrung out my ideas for and pondered over before submitting. If I don't want to be criticized, and more so, if I don't want my achievements stolen, I have to be perfect in front of Brown. Watching Brown, it's clear he knows how to navigate well. He hardly ever comes up with ideas on his own, often presenting other people's ideas as his own to the upper management. While doing things straightforwardly can draw resentment. He excels at compiling multiple ideas from several people and eloquently explaining the thoughts of less articulate, technical employees. Even those who know Brown's true, empty nature acknowledge his presentation skills. An organization like a company can't function with just thinkers. There's a need for roles like Brown's, who can accurately and sometimes even improve upon great ideas, conveying them beautifully. I'm certainly not a person with a friendly demeanor. I also lack the ability to explain my thoughts with precise words. However, I have no trouble spending hours on difficult problems or enduring tasks.
There's something to be said for right person, right place. No point in being jealous of Brown.
Fortunately, when I get home, I have Mary, who knows all too well Brown's cunning. As I unwound over drinks, Mary soothed my frayed nerves from the stress at work.
You're not really cut out to be just another cog in the corporate machine.
But it's people like Brown that enable you to excel in the company's ecosystem. I can't help feeling a bit manipulated by you, Mary. Even as I resisted, I felt saved by Mary, who always managed to accept whatever I said. Life passed quietly without major issues, and soon there was talk of a departmental retreat. It was a 3-day, 2-night hot springs trip in the southern U.S. region. When I consulted with Mary, she encouraged me to go.
Getting along with other colleagues is part of the job. Sometimes, you might find unexpected common ground with people you've had little to do with. Discovering this other self is one of the joys of travel.
One of the female employees came over to my desk and asked in a light-hearted tone.
What about you, Mr. White? It's a trip funded by the company, so it's a good deal, right?
Since it's offered, I might as well go.
Then that's 11 of us. I'll let the manager know.
Eventually, I was called to Brown's desk.
Your wife is a travel writer, right? You can consult her and find us a nice, affordable place to stay.
I'll book the flights once the hotel is decided. Though it was unrelated to my actual job duties, I agreed, thinking it could utilize Mary's expertise. When I got home, I immediately consulted with Mary. We're looking for a hot springs hotel in the southern U.S. for 11 people to relax. Any good places?
Well, if it's famous and popular spots you're asking about, places like Mineral Springs in Florida or Miami might be an idea. It really depends on whether you want to enjoy the spa or sightseeing.
I'm not too sure about that, considering many of the employees are young. I think a focus on sightseeing might be better. Mary thought for a moment. Having traveled the country for work, she would know many hot springs hotels. I could see why Brown had entrusted me with choosing the hotel. Mary brought her laptop to the reception room to check the availability of the hotels.
They're all pretty much booked. It's the season for fall leaves, so a lot of people are traveling to hot springs.
She clicked around for a while with a serious expression, but then she smiled brightly.
All the well-established luxury hotels are full. How about the Miami Luxury Hotel? It's exceptionally luxurious, and they don't allow troublesome guests, so it could be enjoyable.
Miami Luxury Hotel is a very special luxury hotel Mary had recommended. It had been hard to visit due to our busy schedules, so this was a good opportunity. I see, Miami Luxury Hotel, they offer tours around the area by car, and we could enjoy some sightseeing too.
Right, if you go, they might even give a discount for the other guests. I'll contact them just to be sure.
That's a big help. I'm not great at explaining things over the phone. Mary made the call directly and spoke with the manager. Through her, I completed the reservation for the hotel right then and there. The next day, I informed Manager Brown that I had secured a reservation from Friday evening for 2 nights.
All right, got it. Let's go ahead and book the flights then. You did well.
Just check out the hotel's website if you'd like. If you're not satisfied, we can. Brown cut me off.
It's fine, any hotel will do. If your wife recommends it, it must be good.
It's strange how he trusted me. It seems Brown has something more exciting in mind than just choosing the hotel. Anyway, I felt relieved that I had fulfilled my duty. And so, us employees eagerly awaited the day of the retreat. Finally, the first day of the retreat was here. Mary had worked late the night before, but she got up early to make me breakfast.
I wonder what I'll do for these 3 days without you.
You always do what you like anyway, it won't be any different just because I'm not around.
That's not true, I've gotten used to life with you around.
Truth be told, I felt the same. Just the thought of not seeing Mary for 3 days made me kind of sad. It made me a bit happy to realize, after all, we're still newlyweds. Since we were meeting at the airport, I rolled out with just one suitcase. On the train to the airport, there were several families presumably on their way to vacations. I gazed out the window, idly thinking about wanting to go on a trip with Mary again. Upon arrival, I headed to the meeting lobby. A few coworkers were already there.
Mr. White, over here.
Everyone's early, I thought I'd be the first.
I've been looking forward to it, haven't been to the hot springs for years.
I was glad to be a part of an event that everyone was looking forward to. As we were all chatting, Brown approached us with a couple of employees in tow. Brown was wearing sunglasses, draped in a fancy jacket, and rolling a designer suitcase. Unlike his usual suit appearance, his nouveau riche taste was quite apparent.
Everyone's here. Let's start handing out the tickets.
Brown announced, distributing tickets to the gathered employees one by one.
All right, that's everyone. Let's go.
Confused, I asked Brown. Manager, what about my ticket? I hadn't received my ticket yet. Brown dramatically widened his eyes, pretending to be surprised.
I totally forgot you existed.
His 2 followers started laughing.
White really blends into the background, doesn't he?
Not just blends in, he's practically invisible.
The other employees looked uncomfortable, as if they felt they had to laugh along. It was obviously another one of Brown's usual harassments. He went too far. Imagine being left at the airport, dressed for a trip, by yourself. I felt utterly ridiculous.
If you want to fly, pay for it yourself.
A company retreat is supposed to be funded by the company, after all. There's no way I'm paying for my own flight. Besides, I can't possibly enjoy a trip with someone like that. He'd surely find ways to prank and harass me throughout the trip. Better not to go at all. Well, I guess I'll just go home then, enjoy your trip. Muttering to myself that I really hoped they would enjoy it. I'm back, ended up coming home, I announced. Mary was surprised that I came home in a few hours.
What happened? Did anything go wrong?
I told her about Brown's harassment and how I didn't get a ticket. Mary was furious, her face turning redder by the moment.
That Brown is unbelievable. You made the right choice not going on that trip with him.
We have 3 days off, let's enjoy ourselves on our own terms. With that, Mary started looking for a nearby hot springs hotel. She booked us a room at the hotel just an hour's drive away, and we headed there together. We relaxed in the hot springs and then returned to our room. The atmosphere was perfect and the food was delicious, thanks to Mary's choice. That's when I finally noticed tons of missed calls on my phone. Usually, when we travel, I follow Mary's lead and turn off my phone. To fully enjoy the escape from everyday life. There are several calls from Manager Brown. Should I call him back?
Why bother? Just leave it, it is his own fault.
What do you mean?
Well, without you, there's no way they could afford to stay at the Miami luxury hotel.
Panicked, I immediately called Brown's cell phone. He answered right away.
What are you doing? I can't get through to you at all.
I'm sorry, I couldn't go on the company retreat, so I'm at a different hot spring with my wife right now. Then Brown started screaming.
Come here right now. They're saying it will cost $50,000 to stay at the hotel without you.
It sounded like he was on speaker, and I could hear the manager's voice.
If he's not here, the accommodation fee is $50,000.
I realized, I see. That makes sense, since it's just 10 of us, that's about right.
What kind of place did you choose?
My wife recommended it, but it has a rather hotel-elevated system. I explained. Miami Luxury Hotel uses a unique subscription model to ensure guests have the most enriched experience possible. Recently, hotels have begun to adopt subscription services, where you pay a flat rate for unlimited use. While normal hotels offer subscription services alongside regular stays. Miami Luxury Hotel operates on a subscription-only basis. At this exclusive retreat-style hotel, you can fully enjoy the ambience for a monthly payment of $5,000, allowing unlimited overnight stays whenever you like. I also think $5,000 a month is quite a hefty amount. That's what makes this hotel special. Many of the customers are CEOs of well-known companies. Even though we had a reservation, since it was a non-member group staying, they had to pay at least a month's usage fee. That's why they were quoted an easily understandable amount of $50,000 for all 10 people. The exquisite cuisine and meticulous service are said to be worth the money. Without Mary, a travel writer, I would never have had a connection to such a luxurious hotel. Thanks to her coverage, we won a year's worth of unlimited stays. When deciding on a venue for the company retreat, Mary spoke with the manager. Since we can't go on long vacations often due to work, she asked if we could use our year's worth of stays for the company retreat instead. The manager agreed, seeing it was Mary who asked. When I explained the situation, Brown got more furious.
I haven't heard anything about this.
It's clearly stated on the website. I'm not the best at explaining, and I did say to check. Did you fail to verify, manager? Brown gasped, He was probably too busy figuring out how to make me feel miserable. You had a chance to stay at a luxury hotel that ordinary people can't afford in their lifetime.
We're now worried about having to sleep outdoors. What are you going to do about it?
What can I do? It was the manager who didn't get my ticket, I replied. I briefly explained the situation to Mary, who was keenly listening. She burst out laughing.
Sleeping outdoors serves them right. It's a rare opportunity, why not enjoy it?
That's not really an option. Is there anything we can do? Reluctantly, Mary stood up. She pulled out her phone from her bag and began making calls.
I'll check if there's any hotel near Miami Luxury Hotel where we can stay. Maybe they'll let us stay since I've been there for coverage before. After making several calls and bowing her head in thanks repeatedly,
it turned out there was no single hotel that could accommodate all 10 people. They ended up having to stay in separate hotels, 2 by 2. Mary sighed deeply.
At least nobody has to sleep outdoors now, but I think Brown should take responsibility and sleep outside himself.
Let's not do that. I'm worried about what comes after.
But what about the sightseeing planned for tomorrow? We were supposed to tour the area in a car provided by the Miami Luxury Hotel.
That will have to be figured out by those who are there. The bigger issue is tomorrow's accommodation. I doubt we can secure rooms for everyone. Then a message from a colleague popped up on my phone.
I just want to go home.
These words summed up what had become a disastrous retreat. Unable to go sightseeing or relax in hot springs. And certainly no chance to mingle. In the end, the team stayed just one night and used standby flights to return home. Everyone was quietly blaming Brown for forgetting my ticket. Meanwhile, I fully utilized my 3 days off, enjoying a local hot spring. My phone kept buzzing with messages from colleagues, all griping about Brown.
Manager Brown really is useless, isn't he?
I thought he had leadership skills, but he turned out to be totally unreliable.
Different environments reveal different sides of a person. Mary says that's what makes traveling interesting, but after the incident, when I got back to work, the department was buzzing. I asked a coworker standing nearby, what's going on?
Right now, the manager is being called in by the executive vice president. The disaster of the retreat has come to light at the upper management level. Surely someone who was on the trip must have reported it.
This incident was indeed a major blunder by Brown. Unable to stay together, failing to do any sightseeing, and having to change the plans for a 2-night, 3-day trip. Moreover, the cause was leaving behind a crucial employee at the airport. It's no surprise there were complaints. As for me, I wasn't too hurt since I spent those days enjoying a quiet hot spring trip with Mary. However, my coworkers were very sympathetic. Among them, one of Brown's former followers turned against him.
Manager Brown deliberately forgot White's ticket. He said it would be funny to leave him at the airport.
Many employees frowned upon hearing this. It even came out that Brown routinely harassed employees he disliked. The fact that he made me choose the hotel but then took credit for it also became an issue.
Didn't the manager know that it was a special hotel? How did the reservation even happen?
It was because Mr. White is a member there that we could make the reservation.
And because he wasn't taken along, we couldn't stay there, someone explained. Brown's reputation went down. Eventually, he returned from the executive vice president's office, head bowed. He sat at his desk silently and covered his face with both hands. A gossip-loving coworker later told me that Brown had been demoted to section manager as a consequence of this fiasco. For Brown, who had been rapidly ascending in his career, this was his first real setback. But that wasn't all. Employees who had previously had their achievements stolen by Brown stood up. They talked to upper management about their experiences and advocated for strict punishment. The executive vice presidents could no longer ignore the situation and further decided to cut his salary. University of Tokyo graduate, Mr. Williams has become the new department head. Despite his intelligence, he was a reserved person. Known for his humility and quickly gained a reputation for respecting everyone's opinions and acknowledging those who contributed ideas. This led to a dramatic improvement in our workplace environment. Brown, now relegated to a desk in the corner of the room, no longer had any followers. Lately, he was mostly seen alone, smoking in the smoking room. As a section manager, he was unable to produce any notable results, effectively ending his path to further promotions. One day, I was called into the CEO's office. Nervous that I might have committed some grave error, I knocked on the door of the CEO's office. The CEO looked at me and smiled warmly.
"You're Mr. White, right? Actually, I have a favor to ask."
"Could you tell me more about the subscription service at that luxury hotel?" It seemed the CEO had become interested in Miami Luxury Hotel after hearing about the retreat debacle. Miami Luxury Hotel is an ultra-luxury hotel typically frequented by company presidents and celebrities. It is perfect for someone like our CEO. My wife is a travel writer, and she was introduced to the hotel through her work. It's a great place for undisturbed relaxation and enjoying the quiet ambience of the hot springs.
"Are there any famous tourist attractions nearby? Would we need to take a taxi if we don't drive there?"
If you ever want to go sightseeing, a hired car with an experienced driver is available to guide you to famous attractions, I explained to the CEO.
"That sounds wonderful. I love hot springs and often go there."
But it's hard to find places where you can truly relax and unwind quietly. I've been looking for something like that. Then I believe this hotel would perfectly meet your expectations, I responded. When I got home, Mary looked up from her laptop.
The manager of a Miami luxury hotel just called. She was delighted that your company's CEO signed a contract with them. We still have a year left on our contract, so she said feel free to visit any time.
I felt a bit embarrassed because, more than being my achievement, it was all because of Mary. The CEO seemed to really like Miami Luxury Hotel. He was even recommending it to his friends and acquaintances. My reputation at the company skyrocketed. Being favored by the CEO greatly improved my position in the company. The work I had diligently put in started to be recognized. And surprisingly, I was appointed as the new assistant manager in the next relocation. Mary cheered me on.
Maybe next year you'll become a department head.
Give me a break, I like doing my work quietly.
Showing such dedication is also a duty of those in leadership, Mary replied, which made me feel a bit better.
I decided to lead my team in my own way. As for Brown, though he was good with words, it turned out he had more enemies than expected. The current department head doesn't value Brown's work at all. Rumors started that he might face another demotion. It seems he found it too painful to stay at the company and opted for early retirement. According to what Mary heard from a college classmate, his marital relationship had deteriorated around the time he was demoted. Now, his wife and children have left him, and he lives alone. I can't help but worry about whether he can afford the tuition for his children, who attend an international school, if he gets divorced. Eventually, the house where he lived with his family was put up for sale, and Brown disappeared. A year later, Mary and I were enjoying a hot spring trip at Miami Luxury Hotel. I felt uneasy in such lavish surroundings. Meanwhile, Mary seemed to enjoy her new role as a celebrity. Both Mary and I are doing well in our careers. With greater responsibilities, we've become busier, but it seems reasonable to indulge in this kind of luxury at least once a year.
The subscription at a Miami luxury hotel is being renewed for free again this year. It's definitely a perk of the job.
Marrying Mary was truly the best decision. Moving forward, I plan to cherish our time together while continuing to work hard.